Olivia Munn, come on! That's right.
I'm on a bit of a mess crash right now.
Mess crash?
Crashing down.
You can tie off and get back in that chaos, sweetheart. Let's go. I'm Kevin Pereira. We are live on Thursday, April 17th. I'm Kevin Pereira. We're live on it. So I gave it all to you again. We're coming to you live from the Miracle Mile here in Los Angeles.
On the show today, Microsoft trying to be cool. And Around the Net will reveal their in-house music video to boost morale for Windows Vista. Gotta say, though, it's a little secret. It's terribly awesome. And we'll show you guys our response, hopefully. Plus, in the loop, we're diving into Hollywood and anime. We'll talk with USA Today's anime expert about the upcoming live-action adaptations of Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Avatar, and Speed Racer. Go, Speed Racer! Go!
Christina Ricci, go! Also, in Gadget Punch, she was hot in Casper. We're reviewing the new iRiver MP3 player.
Ago.
She was!
A long time ago.
It plays almost every
now
file
she's so
format
skinny.
and has a built-in stereo speaker. Then, we're finding out who's who on YouTube. Up today, we're checking in with John Lejoie and seeing why he's the #1 most subscribed Canadian comedian on YouTube. Eat it, Dane Cook!
And unlike last week's Who's Who on YouTube, I will not insult this one.
Go ahead, tell him you hate him before we know who he is.
I know who you are, Lejoie.
Jean Lejoie.
All right, you guys, time now for the business. We're running down the top 5 things on the web.
Always be closing when you go around the net. Shots. We should really, because we're just kind of standing here.
We don't want to show you guys the audience so that you see how small our studio really is. We want to give the illusion that it's
You want to see our 12 coworkers?
Yeah.
All right, we're starting things off at number 5 with 2 girls and a treadmill. Yeah. Trifecta does not involve a certain unmentionable item. No soft serve here. But it does involve all the elements of a winning viral.
Kids, look, treadmills are not toys.
They're not.
They should only be used by trained professionals in the obese arts. So when you don't follow the rules bestowed on us by the gods of fat, this happens.
True. Like an early 90s Havoc physics test demo. Just ragdolls being tossed around. The girls were actually so angered by this treadmill incident that later in the day they had to call over a friend from school, lock the front door, and then for a half hour just beat the hell out of her for YouTube. I mean, it was really... Well, that's what they do.
It's the circle of life,
Thank
and you guys are booing, but it's gotta say it's beautiful.
It really is a beautiful thing.
Beautiful.
They don't understand art.
No. Coming in at number 4, we're checking in with an old friend of ours who supplied us with so many good moments and laughs over the past 8 years. Dick Cheney.
Oh, love good old Dick. He was speaking at the press correspondence dinner in Washington last week, an event known for its humor, obviously. And in place of the usual who's on first and knock-knock jokes you'd expect from Cheney, he instead decided to align himself with the dark side.
It could also be that by sending me here, the president's trying to soften up my image. After all these years, all the time we've spent together, he persists in thinking I come across as a cold, forbidding, even frightening man. But the president's not alone. Even my wife seems to think my image needs polishing. At breakfast today, I asked Lynn if deep down it bugs her that people have taken to calling me Darth Vader. She said, not at all. It humanizes you.
For the win! By the way, the 9:30 show is completely different than the 7:30, so if you stick around, you are going to love it. After the dinner, Vader was very quick to respond.
True. Now, Darth Vader went on to officially denounce and reject any possible relationship between himself and Cheney. You know, it's unfortunate. It's just Washington politics.
A little inside baseball. You know, 45 minutes to get to a single question Americans care about.
Oh!
You know what I'm saying?
Cheney snap.
Not really, it was debates. That's fine.
I know.
Today's number 3 item is a rare piece of field footage notable for its never-before-seen daring and, I guess, anthropological interest.
As we all know, one of the biggest rivalries in sports is between the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. Now, we've all heard about it, but so few of us have actually seen it up close and personal.
Until now. Here, a brave soul makes his way deep into the Yankee Stadium's bleacher section, wearing a Sox jersey and a hidden camera. So watch as he encounters New Yorkers' most eloquent argument for the superiority of their sporting team. It's a valid argument. I mean, all those gentlemen had points.
I'm shocked that he actually made it out alive. That's just bad judgment.
We don't really have any evidence that he did actually make it out alive. But science thanks him for the footage, so thank you.
Well, you're
I'm
not
speaking
science.
for science,
You can't say thank you. You're Attack of the Ships.
Well, I thank you on behalf of science.
Well, you can't really speak
Thank
for
you.
science.
Okay.
You can speak for you.
I just did.
Well, you should say...
I am science!
Coming in at number 2 today is an internal motivational video from Microsoft.
Oh, I love this thing. At a recent company meeting, someone decided the best way to show corporate how great the sales of Windows Vista were was to actually put the message into a spoof of Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark video. No? Anybody? No. An ancient cultural relic from a time I was told it was called the 80s.
Yeah. Unfortunately, someone got a hold of that video and immediately posted it on the interwebs.
Last year, when Vista was new, you sold the optimized desktop value. That's a pitch that never fails. You saw lots of sales if they have been waiting. No more hesitating when they see the improvements in security, the desktop and mobility and productivity. They'll say Vista gotta get me some. Rock our sales with Vista and let's be one.
Ooh, hiss. Can we get a little... send it to the snake piss.
Look, okay.
Hiss all over that.
Yeah, okay, it was pretty awful, but
Terrible.
honestly, Microsoft, if you're listening, and I know you are, you were so close, so close.
Okay, I guess that's valid because we like the nostalgia angle. That was
do,
cool,
yeah.
right? Going with the famous 80s song and video. Generally, you can't go wrong with the boss.
Normally.
But we really think they could have picked a better song.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to call it out, but you could have just used this one. And you may find yourself on the phone with customer service. And you may find yourself uninstalling video card drivers. And you may find yourself looking for your Windows XP disks. And you may find yourself unable to use your peripherals like your printer or your flatbed scanner. And you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here?
Trying to improve your life.
You are the early adopter.
Trying to improve your life.
Had to have newer, faster.
Upgrade to Vista.
Now that your money's gone,
Upgrade to Vista.
hope you like Aero glass effects. Oh, why did we air that? No, really.
No, we aired that from Microsoft. I want you guys to see Microsoft. That is a poorly made music video by a large corporation, Comcast, that really just gets the message across.
That's true. We did
how you
deliver
do
a
it.
very solid message in that.
Can I see
Which
some
is,
dance moves now?
you know, which, by the way, the green screen wasn't big enough, so I had to just stand in place and try to pretend like I was walking.
I love the kneel down and look over.
Hey, 4 hours of effort. Come on, that turned out. Well done.
You're a sweater.
Well done.
Lots of sweating.
Finally, today's number 1 Around the Net item comes to us from the dirty, nerdy minds of South Park.
If last week's South Park about viral video stars didn't do it, last night's episode should prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that Trey Parker and Matt Stone are way dorkier than anyone could have ever guessed.
Yeah, in this opening scene, our eyes witnessed the most horrible disaster ever to befall the fictional Colorado town. An internet outage. Yeah.
Hey, is your guys' internet working? No, nobody's is. What's happening? There's no internet here. It's not working, I tell ya. What did we used to do to get the news before the internet? Once again, we apologize, but we cannot bring you the news. It appears that we have no internet here at the
Sad. Eventually, Randy and his family find a refugee camp in Silicon Valley that has one computer with working internet.
That's right. Desperate times call for desperate measures, and the military police are forced to ration what little internet remains.
Excuse me, I need to, have some private internet time. Look, we're just trying to get by here. Everyone's got to take what they can get. You don't understand. I need the internet to... I got used to being able to see anything at the click of a button, you know? Once you to Japanese girls puking in each other's mouths, you can't exactly go back to Playboy.
Horrifying. It's true, though. It's really hard to make the switch back.
In my opinion, that is the most accurate depiction of the deep, pure rage that rises when we are left without email for 30 minutes.
The last time my cable modem went out, true story, I had to actually burn my neighbor's house. I didn't even know.
Well, did you get in trouble?
No, it was very calming. You think it'd be crazy, but
Yeah.
the screams of their pets and their children combined sounded like an Entourage email alert. So I thought the internet was back up.
Oh.
So it was totally cool.
The police didn't come and get you?
No, the internet was down. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like, temporary insanity.
Right.
That's what you have.
The internet was down.
You good now? You
I'm fantastic. Internet's up. Got it on the phone. Got it on the computer.
No fear of it happening again?
No. I keep an offline version ready, handy in case it happens.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like the internet. You already have the internet.
Yeah, but it's offline, so I'm good.
So nothing is updated or anything.
Yeah.
That was our own improv.
Thank you. To get your daily viral fix and check out all the viral videos we have to offer, go to g4tv.com/aroundthenet.
And don't forget to catch tonight's 10 o'clock show.
Featuring
ATN After Hours.
ATN After Hours!
Continue. We have exclusive videos. Tonight, it's not like going to the gym where you have to sneak a peek. Stare boldly as gorgeous women keep their backs from touching the floors.
It's a good view. It's a good angle.
With the help.
I could sell tickets for these seats. You know what I'm saying?
They're using Swiss balls.
Yeah, and there's a lot of arching. A lot of arching. Gotta... Tune in tonight. Right now, though, it's time for the only news you need to know. So here's Allison Hastings. Gonna feed headlines.
Thanks, guys. Here's what's coming up in the feed. First, Edward Norton lost his battle with Marvel Studios, and now he's keeping mum. Plus, NBC wants to take measures against video piracy. And seeing is believing. We've got pictures of Rachel Nichols as Scarlett O'Hara in the upcoming G.I. Joe film. It's all coming your way in just a few minutes. But first, back to you guys.
So, I don't know if you noticed, but Hollywood has a new love affair with anime, with more and more A-listers looking to make adaptations of established Japanese franchises as their next big project.
Yeah, just this week alone, Steven Spielberg announced that he's going to make a 3D live-action version of Ghost in the Shell, and M. Night Shyamalan will tackle Avatar: The Last Airbender. And that, of course, joins DiCaprio's Akira adaptation. And next month, we got Speed Racer from the Wachowskis. So
which I hear
it's all over the
looks
place.
like a cartoon, just a straight cartoon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but we'll see. So, you guys, we know you're stoked, but today's poll question really wants to know which anime adaptation has you the most excited?
Ooh.
Akira, Avatar, Ghost in the Shell, or Speed Racer?
Akira!
Vote on our website, g4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to G4TXT. That's 44898 to vote and register for AOTS Live News Alerts. You guys, don't go anywhere. Remember that improv earlier? Lots more.
Oh, man. You're in for a treat.
We are also going to check in with our virtual audience to see what they think about the struggle between Edward Norton and Marvel Studios over The Incredible Hulk.
That's
Very
right.
interesting.
Then Zach says aloha to Forgetting Sarah Marshall stars Kristen Bell, Jason Segel, and Bill Hader.
And Who's Who on YouTube will give you the that guy moment. We look at the internet success of John Lejoie.
She's going to insult him before we meet him. It's going to be great.
No, I'm not.
Stick around, everybody.
A conflict never before seen on television. Prepare yourself for Guilt Island.
I'm voting off this bikini.
Guilt Island. It's an island of gilfs.
Our gamers.
Welcome back. I'm Allison Hayslip, and here are your top stories. Edward Norton is staying quiet about the new Incredible Hulk film and refuses to do interviews surrounding the upcoming release of the movie. Remember how he and Marvel Studios were fighting over Final Cut? Norton wanted the longer, more detailed film. Marvel wanted a faster, trimmed-down version. Marvel won. In an email statement, Norton claims that the so-called dispute was all part of the healthy movie-making progress and was blown out of proportion by the press. Surprise. He says he's not talking because the film speaks for itself. Well, we'll see on June 27th. It seems like NBC would embrace Apple again, but they're scared of pirates. NBC's chief digital officer, yes, that really is his title, didn't mention iPods by name, but said that leading MP3 players have a large portion of pirated content. He suggests putting a gateway program that controls what can be loaded onto a device. NBC says that piracy causes them to take such a hit financially that they aren't able to invest as much money in the next generation of film and TV products. You know, like Quarter Life. The Hammer horror is rising from the grave and making its way to MySpace. The British B-movie studio produced a web series, Beyond the Rave, which is the first content on MySpace made for an audience 18 and older. It's a modern-day vampire series about a young British soldier whose girlfriend goes missing, and he discovers she's been to a rave that's hosted by vampires. Characters have their own MySpace pages, and they're launching an alternate reality game to go along with the storyline. 20 webisodes are planned, all of them 4 to 5 minutes long. Earlier this week, we reported on the Mac clone made by the company SciStar, and now reporters are wondering if the whole thing is a hoax. On the company's official website, the address has changed 3 times, and of those addresses, one is residential and another is a t-shirt shop. When the Miami Chamber of Commerce was contacted, they had no business registered under the name SciStar. Right now, you can place orders for their Mac knockoff, but we're not recommending you give them your credit card number anytime soon. And finally, Paramount has released official pictures of Rachel Nichols as Scarlett O'Hara in the upcoming G.I. Joe movie. Master Sergeant O'Hara was the first female character in the G.I. Joe action figure line. She specializes in counterintelligence, and in her spare time, she enjoys shooting her crossbow. Although Rachel looks totally hot in these pictures, they're still not as cool as those pictures of Ray Park as Snake Eyes. G.I. Joe hits theaters on August 7th. Well, that's it for today, but don't worry, the feed doesn't stop here. Get all the news you need to know anytime at g4tv.com. I'm Allison Hayslip, and you've just been fed.
Welcome back, everybody. We want to hear from you guys at home.
Up close and personal, it's time for the virtual audience, powered
By Stick Cam.
I thought you were going to...
First up, we're going to talk about the upcoming Hulk film and how everyone in charge seems to be disagreeing over which direction to take the franchise. I'm going to ask Lyle. Lyle, with all the fighting between the Edward Norton character, well, actually Edward Norton, the director, and Marvel, are you worried that the movie is going to suck?
It is a valid concern when the creative side and the actual creators of the character side don't agree, but at this point I don't think there's anything to worry about.
Why don't you think there's anything to worry about, Lyle?
Because first and foremost, Marvel knows exactly what they're doing with Edward Norton when they picked him. There will be this type of arguments and creative differences. That's what makes great film. The last Hulk sucked because basically they told the guy to do whatever he wants. They wanted to dial it back and make sure that somebody who knew what they were doing was basically in charge. I think they found it this time.
Well, what would you rather see, Lyle? Like, let's say you're in charge of the film. Do you want to see like a darker, edgier Hulk, or do you want a fast-paced, beat-em-up, wire-fu Hulk?
No wire fu, please. Not for no,
it's so awesome. It's like, it's totally in. It's what all the kids are doing.
Not.
Like, do you want like Batman Begins or like Batman Returns?
You want something dark when it comes to Hulk because he is a dark character. He's very powerful,
like
very oversized. You know, he's just a vicious guy to have.
It's true.
I agree with you. That's what I want to see.
Valid, Lyle. Well done.
Hopefully that's what they did.
Well, they should send Lyle to the edit bays and let him approve Final Cut.
They should.
Son, let's fly him out there. All right, as we told you earlier in the feed, NBC has demanded that iTunes include anti-piracy in their TV show downloads in order for the network to re-sign with them. Joey, do you watch any television online?
I used to, but I kind of quit since it's just too much to keep up with.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, so are you TiVoing or are you watching
I mean, I know Attack of the Show consumes the majority of your television consumption.
Yeah, it's mostly Attack of the Show and Ninja Warrior now, so.
Well, do you think that NBC should even bother with iTunes when they already have, like, NBC.com and Hulu, which apparently everybody loves Hulu? Do you think they should even bother?
No, because the majority of my friends aren't even worried about iTunes. I mean, if they want something, they'll just go get it somewhere else on the internet, and Hulu's a big hit right now, so I mean, they're going to go to Hulu if they want to see it.
All right, so you see when they go somewhere else, they're going to go to their official site. They're not going to like BitTorrent or anything else to actually grab the files.
Well, they might file share it or do whatever to get the file some other way, or, I mean, there's a lot of ways to get a file these days.
Those kids and their shady media practices, that's all I'm saying.
Look, if it's available, someone's going to find it.
No, totally,
You're
I'd do
not
the same
gonna
exact
have to
thing.
Be stuck on your iTunes.
Yeah,
so.
forget that.
All right, you guys, later in the loop, we are talking with USA Today's Scott Bowles about Hollywood's recent obsession with live-action anime. But first, we want to hear from Jeremy. Jeremy, are you excited about these films, or should Hollywood just leave anime alone?
Well, I'm somewhat excited. However, I worry that they'll mess it up. If they took real anime fans and had them in on the project so that it was done right, it might be worthwhile, but it's kind of hard to say at this point.
You know, not to interrupt you, but I think it's funny because if Hollywood wasn't jumping on and making these, it's the same with like any kind of comic books. They're like, Hollywood, they don't respect it, they don't love it. Why aren't you making a big movie about it? It's like you want it, but then you don't want it.
Right. Plus, to get real anime fans involved, you'd have to drag them out into the sunlight, which is their natural enemy. They would melt. And that's just sad. Jeremy, let me ask you, what anime would you like to see remade next?
Probably Vampire Hunter D, Blue Gender, or Dot Hack.
Ooh, Dot Hack. There's an interesting one.
Well, Spielberg is watching and he's taking note.
Right.
Thank you very much.
And he's going to have his assistant make that film tomorrow.
Yes, I'm sure.
It's done.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yes, thank you guys very much. Virtual audience, as you were.
Still ahead, everybody. Gadgetron will rock your pocket with iRiver's new MP3 player.
And Zach Selwyn goes mono a womano, I guess, with Kristen Bell in Hawaii to find out about forgetting Sarah Marshall. Hello, bikini. The feed is presented by ITT, providing you a place to prepare for your digital future. For details about ITT Technical Institute, go to ittech.edu.
Go to 5hourenergy.com.
Which anime adaptation has you most excited? And according to the numbers, it looks like Ghost in the Shell has the lead right now, but it's a damn close race all around. Kevin's always excited for anime, especially the tentacle one.
Is there any other kind?
No.
Thank you. Hollywood is nearly finished strip mining your comic collection, and they got their new movie ideas. But now the studios are setting their sights on your anime collection. The Loop will find out what it all means. Is Hollywood turning Japanese? Anime has become the new go-to hopeful for some of the biggest names in Tinseltown. Spielberg is making Ghost in the Shell, M. Night is making Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Leonardo will take on Akira. Is Speed Racer leading the charge to find the hottest anime franchise around? And what do these new players need to do to ensure success with both the fans and the mainstream? Domo arigato, it's The Loop. My guest tonight here in Los Angeles, film editor for USA Today, Scott Bowles is here. Not to mention superstar of Iron Man, apparently, Scott. Congratulations.
Well, we'll see how much Favreau keeps in it, but right now I have at least a line in the movie.
At least a line. Well, well done. Any spoilers as to your line?
Where are your pants, Tony Stark?
All right, thanks, Scott. Let me ask you, let's get to this anime and the film thing, because studios are suddenly grabbing up tons of anime properties for these live-action adaptations. Why are they doing that? Are they really just that out of ideas?
They are. But the good news is that anime actually has a lot of good storylines to it. You know, The Matrix was originally based on anime. And what they're really doing is not only to anime, but to graphic novels. Most of these are in graphic novel form. And in Hollywood, graphic novels have done really well. Even those serious dramas like Road to Perdition make more than 100 million. So they are out of ideas, but fortunately, that's a pretty good tap well to reach into.
Well, and they're mining it as hard as they can because there's so many blockbusters planned. You know, I think things are really starting off with Speed Racer. If that movie flops, though, will there be a domino effect? Could that be a very terrible thing for the industry?
It's going to be a dangerous thing for the industry. And Speed Racer is a high-stakes gamble. You'll see that the other big movies get made. What you won't see is a lot of movies after that getting made, because anime to this point really hasn't caught on with American audiences. I mean, we had Spirited Away, which does very well with critics, but audiences yet haven't shown that they really want to see it on the big screen.
Well, I know you actually saw Speed Racer, is that right?
Right.
All right, so can we have time for a quick mini review? I mean, should anime fans be worried?
Anime fans should be excited. It is very true to the show of the 60s. What's unusual about it is it's completely family friendly. If you're looking for that sort of dark Wachowski tone that you saw in V for Vendetta and The Matrix, it's not there. They're going for the family, and this has the same tenor as the TV show did. So if you're a fan of the show, the palette on this movie is amazing. It's really, if you're a fan of the original show, you're going to like the movie.
Is it littered with awesome CG cross-dressing, or did they leave that on the cutting room floor as well? No pun intended.
No
there.
comment on that.
All right. Well, this week we got word that M. Night Shyamalan just came on board to direct a film based on Avatar, The Last Airbender. Of course, they're dropping Avatar from the name to avoid confusion with James Cameron's upcoming film. Why do you think M. Night, of all people, is turning to anime, Scott?
Well, one, he really is a fan of good writing. He is an avid reader of story in just about any language. But what's interesting about M. Night is he allows his family to influence what he does. Lady in the Water was born of a fairy tale he made up and told to his children. And I think what you're seeing here is him watching his children become fans of that genre and decides to tackle it himself. He also wants to change up his pace. He doesn't want to be the Hitchcock of Hollywood anymore.
Right. Well, some would argue that he's not that anymore thanks to his track record. Right. I mean, should we be worried about this project because of his last few projects?
You know, it's one of those things that's a high-stake gamble. He's a home run hitter or he strikes out. So it's one of those things that's worth the gamble, because if he does it well, it could be the best of the bunch. If he strikes out, though, it's going to have the same effect that Speed Racer does and discourage a lot of studios from wading into those waters.
Well, what about Spielberg? I mean, here's a guy who's doing a live-action adaptation, a 3D version of Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
I mean, is this a good project for him? It sounds interesting, but I don't know if Spielberg's the guy for it.
You know, Spielberg made such a misstep with AI. Hopefully he's learned his lesson from AI, that you've got to immerse yourself as much in the story as you do in the effects. But this guy is legendary. He gets to do whatever he wants. I think if he keeps Haley Joel Osment away from the project, it's worth the investment. All
right, speaking of adorable boys, what about that Leonardo DiCaprio, Scott? Come on, he's producing and starring in Akira. I mean, that sounds a little mainstream to me.
It's very mainstream. What you're seeing there is an attempt to get women into anime. And it could work because he does have a draw that few actors do in getting teen girls out. As much as he'd like to shake that reputation, he's the one guy who could bring women and teen girls to anime.
Right, wait, is Akira the project to bring women to anime? The giant tentacle arm and lots of screaming freakouts? Is that really what the chicks are digging these days?
Well, this will be a test of Leonardo as much as it will be of anime. The problem with that is if the girls go, then the guys might not want to. This one, more than any other, runs the risk of being hurt by being popular with the mainstream.
All right, Scott, are there any other properties that you think will get grabbed up anytime soon?
You know, there was briefly talk about Ultraman, the 60s show that then went into anime and then came back out into a Garmin commercial for the Super Bowl.
Right.
But they're going to wait and see, because that one may be too old. But to me, that's the most interesting one because it has such a fierce fan base. It'd be interesting to see what Hollywood does with it.
I completely agree with you there. Scott, as always, a pleasure to have you. Thanks for stopping by and keeping us in the loop. Good luck with Iron Man, by the way. We haven't seen the final cut, but I hope you're in there, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, now Zach's here to loop us in on more Hollywood action. Zach?
Thanks, Kevin. The Judd Apatow Comedy Factory is back to being funny after that little drill bit Taylor incident. With stalking, nudity, and plenty of self-deprecation, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is actually being called one of the best comedies of all time by Richard Roeper. And recently I went to Hawaii to hang with the stars of the movie and to get my tan on. Aloha, y'all. Zach Selwyn here in beautiful Oahu for the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall, where the cast of this hilarious flick is just one short helicopter ride away.
What is this movie about? This is about a guy his girlfriend breaks up with him, and he goes to Hawaii to get away, and then it turns out his girlfriend is in Hawaii with her new boyfriend.
What are you doing here?
Came here to murder you.
Clearly, that's the one, like, movie magic thing. Like, it would be really ironic if you went to a place with your new love interest and then your ex-boyfriend showed up.
It was the only room available.
Jason Segel from the Judd Apatow crew not only plays the hysterical lead, he also wrote the movie. Have you ever personally been dumped by a hot actress?
Many times.
Yeah.
All of my relationships end with me getting dumped and like a wildly relieved woman.
Do you want to put some clothes on?
Would you like to pick out the outfit that you break up with me in?
In a departure from her role as a questionable scientist in Assassin's Creed, Kristen Bell ventures into a new direction.
It was, I think, unexpected because I had consistently played sort of younger tomboys that were just coming into their own. And this was a girl that was really on the wild side and didn't have as many boundaries maybe as she should.
You roll yourself a lot of hot makeout scenes with some good-looking ladies.
I'm not done
Again,
myself,
dude, come on.
Yeah, that's the only way it was going to happen, let's
Right?
be honest. You've seen those girls.
Exactly.
You've seen me naked.
A couple times.
Yeah, it doesn't match up.
Russell Brand makes his American film debut as a nutty rock star.
I'll have just one sip of wine by the end of the evening. I'll be like rimming waiters for their tips.
You sing these songs in this film?
They're good, aren't they?
So you can't make up a song about me right now?
Yeah, I can.
Here we go.
Zach, I'm feeling an attack in my genitals, in my heart, and in my soul. Oh, Zach, our dreams reality. Where does it all end? Here.
Now, are you going to be at the luau later?
I don't know what that word means. I just hope this doesn't ruin our friendship.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, people, one of the funniest flicks of the year. And that's Forgetting Sarah Marshall is really funny, and I'm not just saying that because they sent me to Hawaii. You can see it for yourself when it opens this Friday. Yes, summer movies are here, and it's not even May yet. Back to the big K and O.
Oh. I would be the O in that equation.
Okay. Oh, my.
Thanks, Zach. All right, you guys, speaking of summer, get an unprecedented look at this summer's hottest and most anticipated games with X-Play Summer Games Review Preview. Adam and Morgan show you what games you need to save up for with their 5-day in-depth coverage with first looks, world premiere hands-on demos, and never-before-seen footage.
X-Play's Summer Games Review Preview week-long coverage begins April 28th with our special hour-long preview of Grand Theft Auto 4, the most anticipated game ever. It really is. It's going to break sales records. 400 million. Watch it.
You said it wasn't going to break sales records
Watch
when we
it.
had that one video.
Yeah, but now I'm stealing what the analysts are saying.
But you said it wasn't. You said it would probably do well, but not
It will
the
do
best.
well.
You'll say it'll probably do the best.
It won't do the best.
GTA, but it won't
Check
be
out g4tv.com/summergames for info and updates. Look,
I
just
watched the show, just so you know. And I listen to what you say.
It will definitely be one of the best, if not
Will
the
it
best.
break records?
It may.
You said it wouldn't.
I don't remember what I said.
Well, I remember, and you said it wouldn't.
I really don't. You're probably right. It
TiVo
won't.
it. Go back. Watch your TiVos during this commercial break.
It will
See,
not.
He live. Don't go anywhere, or you guys will miss Who's Who on YouTube. Jean Lejoie has a fun name to say and has the most subscribers than any comedian on Canadian YouTube.
Is it Canadian YouTube?
That's what they're saying. Find out if the weekend dollar has improved his jokes exchange rate.
And later in Gadgetron, get a first look at the new iRiver E100 MP3 player. It has limitless compatibility. Why? I could list what it plays, but we'd have to take a break, and I would never stop because it's limitless.
Stop.
How does... Love the Lejoie.
Is the #1 most subscribed comedian on Canadian YouTube.
Mm-hmm. His massive following makes him today's star of Who's Who on YouTube.
My best friend once told me, "Give me your wallet or I'm gonna blow your head off." That was the first and last time we ever hung out. But it was awesome.
27-year-old Jean Lejoie is known to millions of fans as a sketch comedian that attracts viewers from all corners of the internet with his dry, dark, and absurd sense of humor.
You don't have to be a rapist to want to look like one.
And this week, he's among our who's who on YouTube.
You passed the class.
Lejoie is an actor, comedian, and writer from Montreal, Canada.
Here in Canada, everyone has 3 parents.
He graduated from Dawson's College Dome Theater program in 2001 and has been working regularly in film and television ever since. In early 2007, Lejoie started writing and filming short comedy sketches for the internet. 6 months ago, Lejoie blew up when his video High as was featured on the Funny or Die homepage. That video went on to be viewed over 1.3 million times on YouTube and launched Lejoie as an internet comedian. His sketch comedy can be outrageous and crazy, but it's his music that earns him the most attention.
She's covered in vomit and human feces.
The disparity in his music between genre and content, between what is expected and what ends up unfolding, defines a big part of Lejoie's work. Whether it's a heartfelt ballad about having sex with Britney Spears, or a techno piece about doing household chores.
There are a few things that I have to do, and I'm gonna do them.
Despite his success on the internet, the Canadian funny man's real-world career is also progressing well.
Cha-ching!
He plays a part in the French-language TV show La Berge du Chien Noir. This summer, he'll perform his live show at Montreal's Just for Laughs festival. In just under a year, a 20-something comedian from Canada went from internet hopeful to internet star with millions of fans. All of this makes Jean Lejoie among the who's who on YouTube.
Take care.
Well, maybe John is the next comedian on YouTube that's going to get a big Hollywood deal.
Or he could be the next comedian to drink himself to death. It's just an occupational hazard for like funny guys. Look, it happens. Let's be real about it. That's straight talk. Yo, we love you, John.
I love you, Lejoie.
Up the sauce.
Okay, well, I'm going to move on for a second and talk to you guys about Cypress Hill's Be Real. He stopped by to celebrate 420. Of
course he did.
All right, now nobody really remembers much about his visit, actually.
No, luckily we do have some video evidence of his stony freestyle. It was a rap.
Someone pass me a lighter, cause I'm feeling sober. I need more C4 so I can blow this mic up right here on G4. And if you wanna feel it, you know that I'm a Hall of Famer, and I blow up any spot, it's my disclaimer. NBA Live, so calm, doesn't matter. Just give me the gun and I'm get ya.
Oh!
Well,
he said he would get you, and he smiled at the same time. That is hardcore.
I'm surprised he didn't use
a gat and a smile.
I'm surprised he didn't use Olivia or Kevin in that rap, because those are very easy names to rhyme with. Just, you know.
You want to spit out a fat rhyme with Olivia? Because
well, I'm not Be Real from Cypress Hill.
Go to g4tv.com/freestyle101 to see that video in its entirety. And while you're there, don't forget to vote for Freestyle 101 for this year's Webby Awards.
That's right, guys. Stay tuned. Your Gadgetron is spread out in front of you. It's a first look at the new iRiver E100 MP3 player. It has unlimited compatibility and MP3 and video viewing
capabilities. We're talking prawns at the salon.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life.
Tomorrow on an all-new AOTS in the Loop, we're dissecting the Gawker media empire. We're going to hear their future plans for total blogosphere domination.
And blog-wise, we're looking at the best 420 blogs for you guys to get your smoke on with.
And we're ranking the hottest babes on the web. Find out who's this week's best beauty in Women of the Web.
If you were allowed to be on it, it would have been you, in my opinion. You guys go to g4tv.com/AOTS for all things you saw today and more.
X-Play's up next, but hold on, is that a giant balloon that's being wheeled into the studio? No!
Don't jump on it!
My knee is still bruised.
How are you feeling? How's your chin?
It hurts. Oh, my chin's gorgeous, but my knee is, oh.
Poor baby. You should sue.
I really should. It looks like Lindsay Lohan feels.